What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 27 of our podcast, Sippin' Sports. I'm Dave. This is Chris. How are we?
Great.
How was the trip? That's why we're a little delayed. Aaron went to Boston.
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us. It was fun. It was great to see my sister and her life out there.
That's one way to put it. Disclosure, Nairn's apartment or Nairn's townhome or condo, whatever this is, his place of residence. They're fixing the roof, so you might hear some banging, but yeah, that's our disclosure.
But I don't think it'd be too loud.
Yeah, these men are going to work. There's like 50 of them out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, getting after it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna jump right into it. What is your top moment in sports last week?
Yeah, so week one, I think people probably saw it. There was a lot of close games, a lot of missed field goals at the end. But the top moment was the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts actually tied 20-20. Unfortunate news for the Colts kicker, Rodrigo Blankenship got the can right after that. Yeah, he got let go. He got released, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was all over Twitter.
I didn't see that.
So, good kicker, but has had some issues, and then obviously missed a few kicks. Unfortunately, get the boot, but that being said, I mean, there was also the Bengals game was almost...
Yep.
It was almost two. So.
There was a lot of missed kicks there. There was...
Yeah, brutal. You score,
extra
Jamar
point.
Chase, the extra, then the extra point. Oh.
Yeah, and at least one
Two.
missed field goal from Cincinnati and one missed field goal from the Pittsburgh.
Right.
guy.
And I know we talked about this last time, but in the playoffs, they did change it up where if each team has to get a possession. Only in the playoffs, though. So, like, if the first team, like right now, if the first team scores a touchdown, it's over. In the playoffs, first team scores a touchdown, the second team still gets a chance. That was because the Bengals Chiefs could have gone for 100.
No, Bills.
Bills Chiefs.
Yeah.
That could have gone for 100. I mean, each
Right.
team kept scoring, so it was fun. What about you?
Yeah. So mine is relating to the U.S. Open, specifically the men's, because it was kind of crazy. It seemed like almost all of the players were just like bringing out these between the legs, like they were up at the net. The guy, like their opponent, like chip shots or whatever they call it, or lob shots.
I think it's a lob. Yeah,
That
chip
sounds,
shots.
That sounds like it's more official. And then they're sprinting back and they're just throwing these between the legs. I want to say I saw one behind the back.
Yeah, that was Alcaraz.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, they're doing it so easily. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if people have seen the video, but like it's all over Twitter, wherever, Google search Alcaraz. And I think it was in the semifinals or quarterfinals, and the most nonchalant flick of the wrist behind the back, and then to have the wherewithal to also be like, all right, I got to run up to the net and finish this.
Yeah.
And the guy's 19. And I did hear something. Rafael Nadal apparently was telling people 5 or 6 years ago that this kid is better than he was at this age. He's 19.
Okay.
So he's the next, I mean, I guess better than Rafael Nadal. I guess. Kind of high praise from a guy like him.
Maybe not quite yet. Overall.
Oh, not yet, but I'm saying like he's 19 years old.
He has the potential.
That kid should be in college.
He's also ranked number 3 as a 19-year-old.
Right.
So like, I mean, they were like sprinting around.
Dude, it's insane.
The court.
I mean, we get tired playing pickleball.
Yeah.
These bros, and we're playing doubles.
Yeah,
These guys
right.
are playing 3-hour matches. I mean, I think part of the reason we probably saw a lot more trick shots is probably the most tennis I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. It was fun to watch. It's a 120-mile-per-hour serve.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's get into the Minnesota Minute here.
Yeah. So Twins season's kind of coming up to an end. They got swept by Cleveland, but they're now playing the Royals, and then go to Cleveland for a 5-game series, which will kind of be make or break. The Loons tied LAFC 1-1. They play Sporting KC this Saturday. Gopher football smashed Western Illinois. Play Colorado Saturday. St. Thomas football got their first win, 32-6 over Michigan Tech.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know if that's a real team. I think it's fake. And now they play Lincoln, not this weekend, but next weekend on the 24th. And then, of course, the Vikings smoked the Packers. Wasn't really even close the whole time. 20-7. Play Monday night against the Eagles in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's a tough game.
Yeah, that will be a tough game. I mean, it's a good start. Beat the Packers, obviously, but after that, this is where you kind of make your money on the road. So
These first two.
Yeah.
Big time.
Right.
Cool. Well, the betting or the picking were better
Yeah,
this week.
yeah. I mean, maybe
Better
NFL?
for you. Better for you.
Yeah.
I was still at my classic one below or one above, and I was one above this last week.
It's a good week.
So David, 13-8 overall. He was 4-3 MLB, 4-3 soccer, 3-1 NCAA football, 2-1 NFL. For
Yeah.
a total of 13-8.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. And yeah, I was happy about it.
And then I was 11-10, and that equated to 3-4 MLB, 4-3 soccer, 0-1 NCAA football, and 3-2 NFL, 1-0 WNBA.
Yeah, I kind of fell off the WNBA train, to be 100% honest. I totally forgot about it, but
It's entirely possible. We're filming it, or we're recording this episode
game 3, right?
at 6:50, so the game hasn't happened yet, but it could be done tonight.
Yeah. I mean, the Aces have looked dominant too, so
They are
good
good.
for them.
Yep. Well, cool. So that is picking up.
Mm-hmm.
We're about halfway through the month, so we'll see how
We have that punishment at the end of the month, which is kind of teetering. It's close. I think I'm up 1 or 2, but it's
I
going
think
back
you're
and
up
forth.
1
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah, it's going back and forth.
Yep. So what's next? The beer and seltzer?
Yeah. Also, we're going to put a disclaimer. If we tie in the month, we'll both do the ice bucket challenge. I threw it on there. I didn't even tell you that before. We're doing it both. We're both doing it. If we tie.
This is news to me, but
But it's good
Sure.
news. It's good news for everybody.
yeah, we'll go with it. All right, what are we drinking today?
Yeah, so we got a Joia Spirit Craft Cocktail, a sparkling Grehound.
We're expanding our horizons.
It says
here.
vodka with grapefruit, chamomile,
Chamomile.
and what's that word? Cardamom, natural
Yep.
flavors, and carbonation. So it's probably going to have a lot of carbonation. It kind of seems...
If it lists carbonation
Yeah.
on the front of the can, there's probably going to be some carbonation there.
I love how it's called the Sparkling Grehound. I mean, it's a pretty cool can.
Mm-hmm.
6%. Yeah, 6%.
There we go.
So the Joia means bright, brilliant, a level of delight. Joia Spirit.
The can looks delightful.
Oh, gotta hold it away. Sorry, Lesh.
The beer that we're going with today is from Bell's Brewery in Comstock, Michigan.
What is it? What kind of beer is it?
So the beer is an Oberon Ale,
Ooh.
which is an American wheat ale. So
Nice.
honestly, it's making me think of like a Blue Moon kind of thing.
Wow. That's like my go-to beer when we go out. If you're gonna get one beer at a restaurant, that's my beer. Fun fact for everybody out there.
Fun fact for you, lately it's been Kona Big Wave for me.
Oh, Kona Big Wave is not a bad one. Or I do like summer shandies over the summer. I think those smack.
Yeah, those are good.
Oh, we haven't had a bottle.
This is the
Wow.
first bottle, yeah.
Yeah. It's got good color. I mean, look at the carbonation on this thing. Pulling from the bottom.
Yeah, there's
That's crazy. There's a lot.
significant amount.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
All right, so let's try. It's the Sparkling Grehound. So it's grapefruit.
It's an interesting smell.
Is that grapefruit? I think it's grapefruit.
Now it's coming through. What are the main 3 flavors again?
Oh, I don't know how to say the second one. You said it.
Chamomile.
Chamomile and then cardamom.
Yeah. Grapefruit, chamomile.
It's got a picture of all of them. Looks like leaves. One looks like a daisy. Chamomile. It's kind of cool. Drink distinct. I actually think it's got pretty decent flavor.
Mm.
I think you can definitely...
It's vodka based.
Yeah, vodka based. I think it's got I'll throw this out there. Probably a lot of people are going to hate on it. It has more flavor than a High Noon. In my opinion, it has more flavor than a High Noon. It also has a lot more carbonation for sure. When you taste it, it kind of fizzes in your mouth.
Yeah, there's a significant amount of carbonation.
Yeah, I think it does have a good amount of flavor. I would be very interested. I mean, I don't eat grapefruit on the daily, but like what other flavors there were. Like if it was like lemon lime or Probably, I would say, what was the flavor we always have? Black cherry. That's gotta be one.
Or watermelon.
Or watermelon. You have to have
one of those two. It seems like everybody has that flavor.
But I think it's decent. I think it's pretty good. I actually do like them. Shout out work. I stole it from work, so I don't really know.
Stole it?
Yeah, well, borrowed it.
Gifted it.
Yeah, it was a gift to myself. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Like I said, I would be very intrigued to know what other flavors come in this pack.
Yeah, let me get one more, a little tastier.
Yeah. Did that sway you one way?
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 6-9.
Okay.
Nice. I think it's pretty good. Like I said, I think the only thing that's throwing me a little bit off is like there's just a lot of carbonation. There really is.
I'm giving it a 6-4.
Yeah, it's definitely a casual drink.
Yep.
This is like a sit on a pontoon.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely better than a lot of the ones that we've had, which I think that my score
Reflects
it. Yeah.
I think the first few weeks it's hard because the first few weeks we try to impress. Truly,
we were figuring out our
press
skills.
was good though. Press was good, but
yeah.
I mean, what was it, like mid-7s, which was very high. But this is good.
We were figuring out our skills.
Yeah.
But I would say this is definitely one of the better ones.
Yep, I would agree with that.
The thing that's getting me with it is I feel like towards the end of the taste, I'm getting a little bit of syrup, which I'm not a big fan. It makes me remember of
Mountain Dews.
Yeah, it makes me remember Mountain Dews, which I did not like. And I also think that if there was a different flavor,
I agree.
I think that I would probably prefer that. So I'm like pretty close to like drinking more than one.
Yeah.
But I think that knowing that and like hoping that there's maybe a flavor that I like better, like I wanted to leave a little bit of room there.
Yeah. I think it would be, I think it's one of those where it's like, it's good for a grapefruit. I'm not a massive grapefruit fan, but like you said, depending on the other pack, and we'll have to find another pack and try them in the future. Yeah. Just to see. I think that's the hardest part with seltzers is like they have these extreme like watermelon or grapefruit, and it's like, no, I just like watermelon, like an actual fruit. So the taste, it's hard, but I think it does have flavor. I mean, decent score all around. So, so go to your local stores, see if you can find the Joia Spirit Craft Cocktail.
It's spelled Joia.
Yeah, Joia.
Cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's a nice drink.
All right, we're going to the Oberon Ale next. I could only find it in the bottle, so it's got a nice picture of a sun on it. American wheat ale. This is the description. An American wheat ale with a spicy hop character, mildly fruity aromas, and the color and scent of a sunny afternoon. There you go. Perfect beer for warm weather. It says it on the bottle, so hopefully that's the case.
Interesting. I don't know if I would say that's like a...
It was chilling for a while too, so like...
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's not because it's a little warmer. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's like that, but I think it's just kind of interesting. I think it's just like your basic... What was it called? An amber ale, you said?
No, it's a American wheat ale.
American wheat ale. I mean, I think it has good flavor. I do think at the same time, like, it doesn't blow me out of the water with its flavors. I don't really taste the fruity...
Yeah, I'm getting more of a summer shandy than a Blue Moon, I think.
Yeah, definitely not a Blue Moon. If this was what we were comparing to, I don't think it's Blue Moon.
But I also think that I would consider it a toned down version of a summer shandy,
100%.
like flavor-wise.
100%.
The flavor doesn't jump out at you.
Right, like summer shandy, it's like once you take a sip of those, you're like, wow, this is like summer. There's the lemonade, there's the stuff in there. Like you can taste that. This, it's kind of just like a...
Yeah. Yep. That's right. We have to rate it as well.
That's what we do, baby. We do it for you guys, the people.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 5. Just my basic 5.5. Is that what you had?
Yeah. I thought that you had seen me write my thing my score
it was not.
Because I was writing it. That was the first time I wrote it like just straight out in front of me.
Yeah.
And
you guys can, if you're watching the video, you can watch my eyes. I never looked at that screen. I was literally looking at.
All right. Well, I had 5.5 as well.
I just think it's average. It's just an average.
Yeah.
Is it bad? No. Is it good? Eh.
And if you've been with us since the start, you know that our average is slightly higher than just mid-level. So 5 is obviously middle between 0 and 10. So our average is slightly higher.
A little higher.
Just a couple of points.
But I just think I would be fine with 1.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of just like
you got me amped up about the blue moon, and I was like, oof.
I know. Not as good as I was hoping either.
Right.
Okay, so we had the Joia cocktail Grehound.
Sparkling Grehound.
6.9 for Dave, 6.4 for me, and then the Oberon Ale.
Yeah, I do kind of like the colors though. It is like summery, like that light blue.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna throw us out there, and we've said this. We're recording this on Thursday night. That's Chargers colors.
Yeah.
There it is.
Is that a sign? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oberon Ale 5.5 for both of us.
Yeah.
So
just average 5.5, man. It just was.
Yep. Okay, let's jump right into the NCAA football.
Yeah, let's give a recap quick.
Yep, top 10. So let's work our way from, what do you want to do, 10 to 1?
Yeah, I mean, I think here's the thing is, like, I think we can kind of skip a few of them because some of these teams, like, I mean, USC obviously performed well. The big one was Notre Dame, or not Notre Dame, well, yeah, Notre Dame, but Baylor losing to BYU.
Yep.
So they'll be out of the top 10. Notre Dame blowing it again to Marshall.
I think they are. The nice thing is, since we're recording slightly later, now we have the updated.
Oh, so what is Baylor?
10. Baylor is 17.
17, and I saw BYU was up there. Go down, yeah. So BYU's jumped to 12. What's Notre Dame? Should be out of the top 25. They are.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're receiving 23 votes.
Yeah.
89 is the lowest.
See you.
Oregon is at 25 with 89, so that gives you a sense. Notre Dame's at 23, Oregon at 25. It has 89 votes.
Wow. Yeah, and then I mean Oklahoma ran through Kent State. Nothing to talk about. The team to talk about, Texas A&M, losing to Appalachian State, and their offense, Texas A&M's, has looked terrible.
Bad.
So bad.
2 touchdowns? Are you kidding me?
It is so bad. The quarterback for Appalachian State was 15 of 30, and they still won. Terrible.
Yeah, that's not good.
Clemson looked great. Say that again? They scored. Both teams scored. It was 7-7 at halftime. Brutal. And that was at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
One of the hardest places to play in college football.
I mean, if you looked at the score, it probably was pretty tough to play, but it was just a little bit tougher for their own team to play.
Right. Then you had Clemson beat Furman. Michigan beats Hawaii. But if people are gamblers out there, like some of us, Hawaii did cover. The spread was 52.
Oh, wow.
The spread was 52. They were getting dominated. They were down 42 rip at halftime. They picked it back up, and they covered.
And also, they named McCarthy their starter going forward.
Yeah. I mean, he's good. He's a good player.
He's more of an athlete than, what is it, McNamara?
Yeah, McNamara. I think McNamara's just been there for so long, but
well, he was their starter last year.
Yeah. But
so you got to kind of give the new guy a little bit of like we'll give the old guy like his time. And
right.
Then, all right, we want to.
I mean, I would assume in this game both of them probably played because it's 56-10.
Yeah, totally. But this was McCarthy's game to start. Okay.
Yeah. Then Ohio State looked fine. Georgia looked dominant, and then the one game, Alabama.
Very close.
And I think Georgia's now number 1.
Yeah.
But Alabama squeaked it out, and let me tell you, I watched some of that game. They looked brutal. Their offense looks stalemate. I'm not regretting my pick. I think Nick Saban will get the boys ready. But, like, to win the national championship, you just can't play like that. Bryce Young literally led them on a drive within the last minute, kicked the game-winning field goal. But
with 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
They were losing with 1:30 left.
Yeah. And Texas's Quinn Ewers got hurt. Their starting quarterback.
Yeah, that's not good because he's out for a little while.
Yeah, it was bad. It was very bad. So that's the top 10.
The good part is for them, they have the other guy that was in a quarterback competition with them.
Oh yeah, they'll be fine, but it's one of those things.
Still not ideal.
Yeah,
for
100%.
him especially because you got Arch Manning coming in next year. So
Yeah.
is he just going to transfer again?
Because
he ain't starting.
Quinn Ewers?
Yeah.
Oh, he's good, dude.
He's not going to start next year.
I don't know. He's good. Just watch. He's good.
It's Arch Manning. He's like the next.
Here we go with this Arch Manning. I'll tell you right now.
It's like he's like the next big thing after Trevor Lawrence.
Here we go. Just we'll wait and see.
I'm just saying.
But I think it'll be here's the crazy thing is next week, BYU has to play Oregon. They just beat Baylor and now they play Oregon.
That's good.
That's crazy. Yeah, hopefully they can pull it off.
That's good on their coaches because they know that they have to play a good non-conference schedule.
Yeah, they have to step it up. So yeah, that's your top 10 right there. See what happens.
Yeah. So really, the only teams that moved down were the ones that lost, and then Alabama moved down to 2.
Yeah, which they could be interchangeable. Let's be honest, Georgia and Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your top 10.
I guess the only other notable game that is probably notable because Kentucky's now in the top 10.
I'll beat Florida.
They beat Florida. Who
in Florida.
Jumped way in at 12, and then Kentucky beat them. So now they're in the top 10.
Yeah. Also notable game, Wisconsin lost to Washington State. Go Goats.
And?
Wait, what? Oh, and Iowa lost to Iowa State. But Iowa State's at least respectable.
Yeah, but still.
Wisconsin stinks.
Still.
But yeah, there's your top 10.
Cool.
There you go.
All right, now we're shifting over to the NFL.
Yeah, just quick. Any surprises, did you think?
In week 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Steelers, we kind of touched on that briefly earlier. I would say that was probably the biggest surprise.
Yeah.
To me.
I think the Steelers, or I even think the Colts tying the Texans. Like I noted before, that's a bad game for the Colts, but I do think the Steelers, Joe Burrow had 7 turnovers.
He had
a lot.
What, 4 picks? 5
he had
picks?
4 picks, or 3 or 4 picks, and then a few fumbles.
No, he had at least
4 picks.
Yeah, at least 4.
7 times sacked. But I will say also, and they still could have won the game. If it makes an extra point.
There was a lot of surprising ones. I think the Steelers one was the most surprising because of who I thought the Bengals were.
Yeah.
And the Steelers actually beat them, not just tied them. I would say the second most surprising game was the Seahawks beating the Broncos
100%.
on Monday night. And then the third one for me is the Giants beating the Titans.
I support that the Giants win for 2. I support that. If your team stinks, just do it. Dude.
The crazy thing is they went for 2, then they were winning, but they still let the Titans get down to field goal range to a distance where it was definitely something that could and maybe should go in.
Yeah. So 8 games. 8 games were decided by 1 score or less. So I'm saying 6 or less points. Because the Commanders beat Jacksonville, Giants, Colts tied, Browns. I think I was actually very disappointed in how the Panthers played. Baker Mayfield, you're going to talk all that talk and you're terrible. Dude,
brutal.
They're happy they got rid of you, buddy.
Yeah, brutal showing by those guys.
But, it'll be an exciting week. I think there's a lot of good games coming up. I think week 1 was a statement, but now week 2 will be a bigger statement for teams that lost. Like the Rams have to pound them. Packers will come out firing. It's a statement games.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, the biggest question mark is, I have 2.
Yeah.
1, Seahawks beat the Broncos. The 49ers lost to the Bears. So we were looking at the 49ers as, they should be a pretty good team. They lost to a considered lesser team. The Seahawks beat the Broncos, considered a higher ranked team.
Yeah.
So now going into that game, they play each other. How does that look? Was it just the rain, and is that the only reason that the 49ers lost?
Right.
Or is it that they're maybe not as good as we thought?
Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2 is Cardinals, Raiders, both are 0-1. both are hoping to make the next step this year,
They play
right?
each other, yeah.
And they play each other. So one of them is going to be 0-2, which is not how you want to start. So that is the other.
I say, adding on to that point, and just giving my 2 cents on the Cardinals, I think
They're really
Kyler Murray is, okay, sure, everyone loves him in fantasy because he runs. He is not a good quarterback. That man runs in circles and throws it wherever he thinks. And I know people are like, well, he scores fantasy. Sure. But defenses are starting to figure him out where they're like, hey, I'm going to spy you. And sure, you might run around me 1 or 2 plays. You can't throw a football. Like, you can't even see over the line. It's just bad. Like, he looked so bad.
The Cardinals just in general look really bad.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't think, even when DeAndre Hopkins comes back, no offense, I don't think he's going to solve a lot.
You don't think?
No. But, also, we should talk. I don't know if we mentioned our Eliminator picks.
We were getting to that.
Oh, yeah, because we're going to do it.
Because that's still going for one of us.
Shout out. Technically, but not technically, but technically.
No, technically. All right, so we're moving into the Eliminator picks. So the hope was to see how long we could go. Well, one of us, a.k.a. me, lost first week.
Yeah, I'm glad we put that precedent that we were like, we're just going to do it the whole year because we
And
both
see the
technically
record.
should have lost. I mean, well, not technically, but
No, I checked the rules, and a win or a tie
it gets you.
continues.
Yeah, you just can't lose. Yeah. It's like a push, but it's kind of annoying.
I didn't realize that it was supposed to be just an absolute monsoon in Chicago when I picked the 49ers to beat the Bears. But that's besides the point. No need to add any excuses. Who's your week 2 Eliminator pick?
Yeah, so my week 2 Eliminator pick, and we're just doing straight ups, remember. I'm taking the Rams. I know everyone's going to be like, oh, that's a heavy favorite. I get it. But so were our teams last week.
Well, you can pick favorites because as the year goes on,
You only can pick them once.
Yeah, you can't
And
pick
so
them again.
I think the Rams will make a statement this game. I think Stafford will come out buzzing. I think Allen Robinson will have 2 or more catches unlike last game.
Oh!
And so I will say the Rams. That is my pick.
Okay, nice. And the other thing is, like, in theory, you look at the year and you're like, okay, the top 6 or whatever, the top 18 teams.
Yeah.
Like, all of those teams should be picked. It just depends on.
But they also have to play each other. I mean, it really is going to be getting down to it.
Right, totally. As a consolation prize, I'm picking the Packers.
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Beating the Bears. I'm going back to the well against the Bears this time with the Packers.
Yeah, unfortunately, they sweat. Yeah, and I know we talked about this pre-episode, but like if the Bears beat you twice, you might want to just pick the Bears. I just don't think they're going to
pick the Bears week 3.
Right. It's like, dude. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, like you said, I mean, that was a monsoon. That was kind of a fluke.
Yeah, big fluke.
But at the same time,
they were winning the whole game until the 4th quarter.
Yeah, patience. That's what Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers said.
patience.
Patience. This year it's patience. Last year it was relax.
Yeah. Okay, so the other thing that we're doing is the fantasy picks. We're picking a quarterback, running back, and then a pass catcher that we think is going to outshoot their projected point total. PPR league, ESPN.
Shout out.
So both of us went 1 and 2 last week. Not how we wanted to start. However, I'm feeling pretty good on week 2. Who's your quarterback?
So my quarterback, and I mentioned my team, so I'm kind of double dipping, but I'm going Matthew Stafford. They play the Falcons. He's projected 18.1. I think he will throw for 2 or more touchdowns, and I think he'll throw for about 250 to 300 yards. I think here's the thing is, Cam Akers looked terrible. They'll try to get him involved, but I just think at this point after last game, Stafford's got to get his feet under him. And it's a statement game. I mean, the Falcons' defense is notably one of the worst always in the league.
Yep.
So, what about you?
I'm going Derek Carr. The Raiders play the Cardinals, as we mentioned earlier. He's projected 17.6 points, and the Cardinals' defense is absolutely awful.
So bad.
They just gave up 5 passing touchdowns to Patrick Mahomes. I don't think Derek Carr is Patrick Mahomes. However, as we talked about last week, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, that's 16 points. So I think Derek Carr can at least do 200 yards and 2 touchdowns plus a little bit more to get over the 17.6. And that's easy money. Plus, going off of Dave's thing, it's a statement game. They want to go 1-1 rather than,
like you said, you
0-2.
can't go in that league. I mean, here's the
in
thing.
that division specifically, you cannot go 1-2.
And I'll say this, and this is what makes the hard part about the Cardinals, and I feel sometimes for their defense. they play so fast on offense that when they go 3 and out, it's like, all right, I got a minute break. We didn't even discuss what we talked about because now it's over. Like, they play so fast and it's just brutal. But, yeah, so.
All right, running back.
I'm going Kareem Hunt. So he is technically the backup for the Browns, but I think they're going to use him interchangeable as the Jets. Last week had 4 catches, kind of their pass-catching guy.
What's he projected?
11.5. Sorry. So 11.5. So if he gets 3, 4, 5 catches, and I think he'll get more volume this game because it's the Jets, and they kind of like to
that
use
might be
both
beating
ways.
them.
Yeah, so I think 11 is very fair.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you're shooting for 12.
12, yeah. Well, actually, I'm shooting for 11.6.
Yeah, right. Okay, my running back that I'm going with is Jeff Wilson Jr. He's projected 11.4.
Probably a big pickup for a lot of fantasy leagues.
Probably at least top 3, if not top 1.
Yeah. I know a lot of people spent a lot of money on
Elijah Mitchell got hurt last week. He's out probably about 2 months or so.
That's crazy.
So Jeff Wilson Jr., he's the known commodity. They're playing the Seahawks.
Terrible defense.
And so 11.4 points. I mean, if he gets, he's not as much of a pass catching running back, but he can catch a couple passes.
I think, yeah, and I think their game plan now will change. And I mean, here's the thing. I mean, it should be the weather obviously should be better.
George Kittle might not play
George
still.
Kittle, and they. I mean, here's the thing:
Dump
is they like to run. They do all that stuff.
They'll run with Debo a little bit, so that's like the only thing that's bringing Jeff back.
To reality, kind of.
Is Debo is going to get some running. So
I don't think it will affect him though. I think that's fine.
I think Jeff Wilson will be just fine.
Yep.
So over 11.4.
11.4.
Yep. Pass
So
catcher.
my pass catcher, like Nairn hinted for Derek Carr, I'm going Devontae Adams, projected 18.7. Last week he had 17 targets.
I think that might have been the most.
Probably, and he caught 10 of them. 17 targets.
Yeah, that's a lot.
141 yards and a touchdown. This man, and I know people are saying in Green Bay, will we miss him? Of course you miss him. He's the best route runner in the league.
Aaron Rodgers missed him too.
And here's the thing is, last year my boy Hunter Renfrow has become irrelevant. It's Devontae Adams time.
Literally irrelevant.
No offense to Darren Waller. I know you just got paid. You're probably irrelevant. This is Devontae Adams. 17 targets. And like I said, Arizona's defense stinks. And I think they're going to run up the score because they're 0-1. And like you said, it's a statement game. So I think Devontae Adams will have 23 or more. I think he'll beat it by 5 points.
Okay.
17 targets.
Nice.
Wow. Pass catcher?
Mine is Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Lions.
Little guy.
Is he little?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Little guy.
He's projected 13.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, he is on a streak. He's had over 8 receptions in 6 straight games dating back to last year. So if you think about it, 8 catches, that's 8 points right there. If he has 1 touchdown with 8 catches for 0 yards, that's over 13.5. If he has 8 catches for 60 yards, which probably should happen.
Yeah.
If you have 8 catches, then that's over 13.5.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's an easy pick. He's done it for 6 straight games.
I think it's kind of the same thing. I think it's one of those things where it's like, it's very similar in the sense of also with the Lions, and it's kind of like what made DeAndre Swift so good is they're usually losing, but they just like to dump and dink and doink. They don't go deep balls. They're dink and doink, dink and doink. I think it's a solid pick.
And they play the Commanders, who just played the Jaguars and gave up a bajillion yards to, who was it? Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I think he should be fine. I mean, hypothetically speaking, we thought ours were locks last week, so we're just going to keep it simple. But, yeah. So now,
There we go.
Hopefully you guys are doing well in fantasy. It's a good time of year.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Top 5.
Yeah, top 5 draft. We're doing
Board games.
Yeah.
Shout out, well, I guess I can say it now. Future sister-in-law, Caitlin, Raina, Alyssa's sister, my fiance's sister, for giving us this idea. It's a good idea. Only board games, though, not card games.
Mm-hmm.
Board games.
Yep.
So the premise was it has to come, I think, with a board in a box.
It has to come in a box. Basically.
So, the famous coin.
Yep.
Get back at it.
Tails.
Heads it is. Ooh. Wow. Here's the thing. I know what you're going to go with. Pick one if I give you pick one.
Do you?
Yep, but I'm going to pick two. We'll see if my prediction is right.
I'm gonna go Settlers.
That's what that's literally what I was.
You thought that's what
Settlers of Catan. It's a very famous game. So now for my 2 and 3, I'm gonna go with Ticket to Ride.
Okay.
And then I'm also gonna go with Code Names. Very underrated party gift if you guys have never played.
I do like Codenames.
I think Code Names is a good game.
Nice. I'm gonna go with Sequence.
That's a good game.
And I'm also gonna go with I'm gonna go with Trouble.
Ooh, Trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just out there. I know we didn't discuss this. Is Cribbage a board game? It does have a board, but it's also a card game. That's
That's
tough. I'll skip it.
I mean, you can if you want.
I'll skip it. Because I don't want to have another asterisk. I'm gonna go with Catchphrase, and then I'm gonna go with. We're getting down to the wire here. Here's the thing: is we only play the same games. We literally play cribbage. Shout out! People probably have. I mean, this is a very few people. I'm gonna go with Carbles. It's called Carbles.
Ooh.
Have you played that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Carbles shop in Minnesota.
Chad Poppins' father creates
Carble boards?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. It's a fun game. Alyssa and I got a board. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna go with Scattergories.
Nice.
Feel pretty good about that pick. And I'm also gonna go with I'm gonna go with between two.
Same both.
No, I only have one pick left.
Oh, you just went categories.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. I'm gonna go with Life.
Life is a good game.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Risk as the last pick. I haven't played that for a while though, but that's usually a fun game. It just takes so freaking long.
Yeah.
Also, shout out, I'm very glad
Monopoly.
none of us said Monopoly. Have you ever played Monopoly Deal though? That's a good card game.
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's a fun game. So, yeah, you want to read them?
Yep. So David's list is Ticket to Ride, Codenames, Catchphrase, Carbles, and Risk.
Mm-hmm.
My list is Settlers of Catan, Sequence, Trouble, Scattergories, and Life.
I'm surprised you didn't say...
Splendor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's like your game.
It's definitely up there as top one.
Nobody knows it.
But nobody knows it.
Yeah, except me, you, and Lesh. And Alyssa.
Yeah. Yeah, because she came in and just beat us down.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun game though, but yeah, not a lot of people. I think I'm one ahead now. Like 7-6 or yeah, it's one ahead or
8-7.
tied. Yeah, it's something like that. Because you won the Super Bowl predictions. Which appreciate you guys voting, but really just I don't care who voted for who. I hope my team wins.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. So we'll see who wins this one, and that's all that I got for episode 27.
100%. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.